Hello, nerdery. Today's episode, we're going to be talking maybe anime, maybe comics, maybe movies. I don't know. All I know is that we've got an awesome dude here to join us. I know who he is, but you don't know who he is yet. So stay tuned and catch us on this episode.
Hit it.
Welcome to the zone where geeks collide, where comics and heroes come alive. Marvel, DC, Starfleet in the mix. Lightsabers flash, we're nerding out quick. Rican's the name of the show. Dive into the worlds you already know. From the big screens to the comic store. Super stories and so much more.
What's up, New Ricans? Back again for another episode. Today, I have a guest here that I think you're going to be really excited after we introduce him and he talks about his universe with us. David Hunter over here. And introduce yourself to the world.
Hello world, I'm David Hunter. I'm the founder and creative director of Emerald Hawk Studios.
So how did you come up with that name? Because I thought that was such a cool name when I first saw it.
Well, basically all my companies have the same type of logo. They're all eagles and everything like that. So I said, you know what? Let me switch it over. And I went through ChatGPT and it suggested coming back with a different name. So the Emerald Hawk, I searched the trademarks. There was nothing on there. I said, that's it.
That's a beautiful thing because it is a real catchy. Because when I sat down with Lou, when we got a name, Nerdericans, we were over at my mother's 75th birthday. We're just talking like we're doing here. And people are like, oh, they're doing that talk again. It's called Nerd, just learn, no worry.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
said, we should have a show. And I said, Nerd, we were both nerds and Puerto Rican. Nerd, Rican. And bang, it was born.
And that's why, my stage name is David A. Hunter. That's because my profession, I spent many years in law enforcement as a hunter on that side. So it's David A. Hunter, get it? David
so it's a pseudonym. That's pretty cool. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. Nice way to add that in there like that. Cool. Yeah. So, your universe here.
Yes.
I'm fascinated, especially I'll start it off with Onyx Girl.
Onyx
Tell
Girl.
me about her.
Onyx Girl. She actually came about, I was online. I had just started the company maybe like 2 months in. And then I just went up there. I said, what do you guys want to see? I made an image of a little girl holding a bus up. Everybody's like, yeah, we want to see that. I said, all right, I'm going to make the movie. So Onyx Girl came about just seeing a child come into their own, get their strength together, come over a loss. Because in the film, she has a tragic loss. So that brings out like part anger in her. And then when she finds out who she really is, it really takes her to the next level. But in the beginning, she's just a child going through problems at home. Her dad is gone. Oh, I revealed the secret. No, that's not the secret.
Oh,
but
no.
anyway, that's what happened. That's not the secret. That's not the secret. But her dad is gone. Because that's part of how she became who she is.
That sounds the same like when it comes to like other superheroes, like for instance Spider-Man. He lost.
I was just thinking about that
Ben.
Spider-Man
Yeah, he lost
scene.
Ben.
He lost
Yeah.
his Uncle Ben, but from that he gained a lesson from it, and that lesson made him the hero that he is today. So I'm looking, when I heard, now I'm hearing this, I'm like, yeah, I could see that now.
Right.
So when I was watching the 6-minute short, and check it out on YouTube, trust me, it's really fascinating. And now hearing this, now it adds context to it. So I'm like, But the other part of it is that I would like to say villain. She, on the other hand, I'd like to know a little more about her because she kind of adds to the mix of her, how can I say, origin story of becoming a hero.
Oh, you're talking about Ruby?
Yeah, Ruby.
Okay, Ruby is, she is part of the Rubyverse. She is embodied. She used to be an emerald. She used to be an emerald, which is the warrior goddesses of the Emeraldverse. She got taken into the Rubyverse by the Anti-Creator. That's the character that wears, he is dressed in the red fedora with the red and white trench coat.
Oh, okay.
That's the Anti-Creator. That's the brother of the Creator, who's in the green and white trench coat. So it's two separate universes that are parallel to each other. Ruby just happened to go with Camel Tag one day and she got sucked into it. And Camel Tag has the power to stop it, but he decides not to.
I see.
He's gonna let it play out. because there's a relationship between the two of them that I will not reveal yet.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
So we won't reveal that yet, but there's a relationship. Not good, not bad, we don't know yet. Okay? So Ruby Woman is upset because she's like, you're gonna do the same thing to her that you did to me. That's where she comes in at. Her anger is from the verse.
I sense that jealousy when she was talking to the elder as to why you're dipping. And I do have a question on one thing, which not a spoiler, but what does the green eye and the red eye represent?
You're talking about that's going into Onyx 2.
Oh.
That's Onyx 2.
Onyx 2.
That's Onyx 2 coming out July 4th, 2026. The red eye and the green eye, basically, since we already said it, represents the Emerald verse and the Ruby verse.
Oh,
I'm not going to tell you how it represents yet,
right.
but it definitely represents both universes together. If you watch the movie itself, have you seen how the film played out? Because if you've seen the 29-minute movie, which is the studio cut, I'll give you some. The signature cut is 36 minutes long, which is even longer, and it's got more content in it, and that is available on YouTube through the buy link. So you can still see that. I believe you saw that one. That was the one you saw. So that one reveals a lot more. And that leads, and you'll see cameos of different characters in there. I'm not going to reveal who they are because they got to go through the universe and see who they are. Then you'll know. And that's where we're at right now with Onyx Girl. And Onyx Girl, at the end of the movie, you'll see what she did, what happened to her. But when you find out through the shorts and the next movie of everything that's going on, it'll blow your mind.
Because I've noticed like the expansion as you were creating it. It's like I'm looking at all these characters that we're mentioning now. And like,
Queen of the Tides was one of the ones that
Queen
we
of
were
the
talking
Tides.
about. Yeah.
I found that
That's
very
when I was
fascinating.
like,
I found that fascinating also because it had shades of Atlantis attached to it, and her like with the story in DC with either Namor or Aquaman, they have their own kingdoms in which to protect the people, and they're trying to inform the outside world. Listen, you want to F around and find out, stop doing what you're doing. You're hurting our world. Don't make us come up and hurt yours.
Right. So, but the difference between the Legacy Studios is Atlantis is they both use the same name. They went and said, okay, well, it's Atlantis here, Atlantis there. I haven't given a name yet to it that I want to reveal, but it's not Atlantis.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Her kingdom is part of the Earth Emerald. Because Earth Emerald is where they all live at. They reside on Earth Emerald, which is a parallel universe to us. So everything is slightly identical, but a lot of things are different. By being the superpowered people that live there, there's no racism on Earth Emerald. Camel Tag eradicated that years ago. So the only thing that you're judged on in the Emeraldverse is money. He hasn't eradicated that yet. It's still an economic world.
Right there. That's when you're right on the cusp of perfection.
So we're almost perfected. They're not perfect yet, but they're getting there.
So you got rid of greed.
Greed is gone. No.
Well,
greed is still there. Racism is gone.
Not.
Right.
So at least on that surface, that's a good thing because audiences. I know me reading comic books. I always said in the very beginning, I learned a lot of life because of the characters I've read. Like I learned racism through X-Men.
Right.
And that's when I understood it. And then when I actually finally saw it, it's like my mind clicked, and all of a sudden I saw Wolverine, and then instead I saw Trask on the other end. Not whoever it was that it was representing. My mind just clicked onto those characters and said, okay, that's racism right there happening. And so that's what I like about that.
Yeah. See, what I did with my studio was I started creating characters that the Legacy Studios don't represent. Okay. Like they'll take a character, one of their characters, to represent, they'll change the race of the character. We all know the characters that have done that too. I just said, you know what, I'm gonna create a whole new character. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna bring out all characters from around the world. I have Dominican characters, Brazilian characters, I have Asian characters, I have, you name them, I have them. I just haven't put them out there yet. So everybody's represented.
Nice. That is a good thing because representation these days is so important. Like the way Bad Bunny did it in the Super Bowl.
Love conquers all at the end of the day.
Yeah. Conquers hate. But the thing is, the fact that he mentioned and had the flags of all Latino countries right there, and then reflecting on what is our culture. Because
Right.
it doesn't make a difference, Brazilian, Dominican, whatever. We have so many similarities in the way we live our culture together. It's not even funny. You might as well just make one flag for it all. In your case, bringing that out, that's even more hopeful because people want to see that, you know. And I think it's very inspirational even hearing it now.
Yeah, I think
Thank
people
you.
are tired of being delineated upon like the ideas of like, well, I'm this and I'm that. Like at the end of the day, we're all human,
Right.
We're all sharing this curdling ball of rock flying through space, like.
And that's the whole idea of the universe. It's not about who's better, who's worse, listen, we all live in the same place. The only difference is you may have more sunlight on your body than mine. That's the only difference.
That's it.
And that's all it is. But we're all the same underneath. Everyone is the same. The only thing that separates us is our thinking. Once you get rid of the ignorance of you're better than me, I'm worse than you, then that disappears.
Yeah.
Ignorance is racism. And I have eliminated that from that universe.
Hate is, definitely hate is
definitely.
a sure sign of someone who's not willing to take a step back and look at the bigger picture of the world.
Exactly.
I mean,
We don't need that.
We don't.
no, I mean, I look at it now, and yes, even though times are troubling, well, what I do know, and maybe you'll agree with me on this, is that 30 years ago, as far as being recognized, and also the representation of of male, female, and then their other components that fall under it, whether it's LGBTQ, whatever lifestyles. We don't look at those things anymore like they used to be looked at.
Right.
Where it was just a separation. Instead, we're all human at the end of the day. We love this way. We live this way. No different than you, than me. It's no different. Like in Star Trek, they showed it as well.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Discovery made a very good point of pointing that up there, but across the board, it was always that way. Always that way. So
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
glad-
history shows that
Absolutely.
that type of mentality is very recent. It's actually with the onset of a lot of the domination of countries when they went in and they conquistadors and all of that. That's the mentality that they passed on. Hate.
Right.
That was not
Absolutely.
existing before that. So
Absolutely.
that's something that definitely now as a society we're getting to the point of eradicating. And I think it's cool when people incorporate that into the world that, no hate, there's no anything that separates us because
Right.
why are we separate? It's just expression at the end of the day, and we should just be understanding and loving of each other.
Yeah, because that's the last thing I feel like in this universe, people don't, like I said, I've always said this in my life. If you look at me or anybody based on their height, weight, skin color, you haven't seen that person. So you need to peel that back, see that person. And that's what this universe does. This universe sees the people for who they are. Heroes or villains. That's all it is. It's a thin line. You're a hero or you're a villain. I don't care what you look like.
I'm curious too to see how the villain arcs work in that type of world because you don't have hate. So it's not like, oh, I hate you because of this.
Wait.
Well, no, I'm just saying, and people forget there's different levels of like
Right.
evil and stuff like that and different variations of it. So taking that aspect out gives you, I
Right.
think, a broader range of going into like the minds of people that are still
Right.
hateful, but not because of race or because of that.
Exactly.
It's hateful for other reasons. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's interesting.
Because I mentioned before with jealousy, the young one, the older one, and she's looking at like, well, you're making another. And
That's-
it's like when I
yeah.
saw that tone, I was like, I hear some jealousy going on. Cat fight's about to happen.
Yep,
Big
absolutely.
time cat fight. And she then at the same time respect also as far as elders are concerned because the elder she was already ready to take a swing at him. I was thinking, it's like, are you out of your mind, girl? I will tear
Yeah.
you up.
Yep.
And he's trying to be very in that one scene that I remember seeing when she's questioning him about what he's doing, and he's just reminded her that you used to be that way.
Right.
It's like somehow the red has changed you. And I was like, that's why I asked about the
Yeah.
red and the green
Yeah.
and how it starts off.
He said, because his line is basically the evil has taken over you.
Yes.
The evil's taken over you. So, and I loved you like my own child.
Yes.
Because that's what she used to be like his own child. Let me turn this off. Excuse me. I have these glasses on here. They ring in my ears.
Oh, it was one of those like meta glasses?
Yeah, they ring in my ears. I got my phone in my pocket. So, yeah, so basically, Elder Prime, he is the leader of the Elder Council. And he's the one who helped Onyx get trained and everything like that. But he also trained Ruby. And Ruby went into the dark side. Not the dark side, excuse me. Wrong universe. The Ruby side. She went to the Rubyverse. She went to the Rubyverse.
Now, there is one that I saw last night that's not part maybe she isn't, because there's one episode where she's been given powers for like 24 hours that she visits Onyx.
Okay.
And I love her because before she got powers, there's a scene with her. Somebody's coming up, and they start the little flirting thing with each other. Aunt
Pam?
Aunt Pam, yes. She kind of reminds me of Big Mama, but she ain't that big with balls.
Aunt Pam is my comic relief. She's the comedy part of the universe.
Okay.
I have skits of her just doing comedy. She's got one tagline that she always repeats over and over. She went out on, if you look at the stuff that we have, she's dated older guys. She used to date Stan. She used to date all these people. But she is my comic relief. She's like the big mama that's just funny all the way across the board.
Exactly.
And I put that as a joke. That Camel Tag gave her powers, and she goes and visits Onyx and that, because if you see the other scenes, you'll know where that led up to. Now, when Onyx 2 comes out, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, now I see why Aunt Pam is there. But Aunt Pam was just given powers as me being a comedian to the people. So, yeah, so she flew in, because, and she said, hey, baby, you know what I got to do. And she's like, what? That's the joke. And Aunt Pam has a new series coming out.
Nice.
She's got a whole full series of Aunt Pam.
Yeah, because I was looking at her, I'm saying, it's like, how much more is she, how deep is she into this universe?
Oh,
when I saw her with powers and then fly up to the balcony and walk in, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got 24-hour powers just to go see Onyx. Because the only way you can get into my penthouse which is built in the side of a mountain, is to fly up there. That's Camel Tag's penthouse.
That's perfect. That makes perfect sense. I know there was another one that you mentioned on the side. I'm trying to remember the name of it because we were just going crazy looking at everything. And there's this one. It's the only thing I guess best I can translate is like it's Community or something like that. Not the Onyx universe.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask earlier, but you were on you're on a roll. You're shifting reality. So the idea of
shift
how
reality.
everything.
Yeah, okay.
So explain that.
I will definitely explain shift reality. Shift reality. The way I make the films, I make AI, actor-assisted AI, right? So when I generate, sometimes characters will change from scene to scene. So I created a genre where it's no longer a mistake. It is part of my signature. Sometimes a character's face will change, right, from scene to scene.
So
Onyx's power is that one of her powers is people don't recognize her. So when you watch the movie, you'll be like, now I see why it changes. But the character's base core always stays the same. The Afro Puffs, the red and whites, and the storyline is straight through, crisp. So if you see a little shift in the reality, in the background, that's not a flaw, that is part of my signature.
That's really cool. Well, unfortunately, we're going to cut to a commercial. Hopefully, I don't know if you're staying with us.
Please.
Yeah? Are you going to join us for another segment? All right, cool. So we're going to cut to a commercial, and we will be right back.
Thank you. Hi, what's up, Northern Ricans? We're back, okay, and we're here with David from Emerald Hawk Studios, and he decided to stick around with us as we talk about topics of today, what we like and what we've seen. And Number one on my list is I finished watching Monarch season 2, Legacy of Monsters. I mean, I gotta tell you, I love the back end.
They didn't finish the series.
No, just the first episode. They didn't finish the series. I know. I finished watching the first one last night because I needed to say I liked it. I loved it. Now they have Kong in the mix, and then they have this new creature that for me, being a fan of it since back in the from first 60s, 70s, and the 90s version, some of the old kaiju are coming back, and this particular one they're dealing with rubs me in the way of Biollante. And if anyone's ever watched Godzilla versus Biollante, they would recognize this creature from the get-go. Now, being that those two are mixed in it, it's like, wait a second, I thought from Godzilla versus Kong, okay, then Godzilla X Kong, and I'm like, well, X Kong, they got more together in as far as fighting, whatever threats. But they did this even before these films happened. Mm-hmm. So, I'm loving it. All I know is I can't wait for it to more develop as it goes on, because it's supposed to lead into Godzilla X Kong Supernova. Okay.
You know how I feel about this. I love Godzilla. Don't speak for me. I love Godzilla, all right? Mm-hmm. Kong as an idea, I respect, and as a filmmaker, I love the concept of it. I was not of the, oh my God, they're crossing over Godzilla and Kong, I need to see this. I was like, what are you talking about? That's like pitting a cougar against a chihuahua. That's not acceptable to me. I tried watching the movies, and just the way that they have changed Kong's storyline, they've tried to make in this whole thing. Like, I would have loved if Universal had just done their own Titan thing with Kong, right? Just done their own little storyline. That would have been dope, because you would have changed his storyline, you would have given him something different, you could have Skull Island, all of that would have been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But why do you have to bring my boy into it? Why do you have to bring my baby Godzilla? Like, I'm a Godzilla fanatic. And I just, every time I'm watching it, a part of me is just like, I can't believe it. And for me, like, I could suspend disbelief in certain aspects. I love anime. I'm an anime watcher, so that's just the niche I live in. But I cannot suspend my belief a lot of the times. I'm like, Kong popping up. I'm like, there's no way Kong is even at that level of being able to take on Godzilla. And I'm trying so hard. Like, I really love that first season of Monarch. And then the last episode, when I realized they were on Kong Skull Island, I walked away.
She did. She literally got up.
Walked out the room.
Got up and walked out the room. Like,
I just wanted one full season without Kong. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how are you gonna give me the last 5 minutes with nothing but, like, I was so mad. But I'm giving it a chance. I still watch it because I'm curious to see how they do things. I just wish Kong had his own world.
That'd be a short-term reality.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, but Kong is Kong.
Yeah, but Kong,
Anime, people always say, I love anime, and then I love Godzilla. You don't realize that Godzilla back in the days
was an anime.
4 elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Godzilla is the water, Kong is earth, then you had the butterfly for the
Mothra.
And then you had Earth was the turtle, like,
Yeah.
So
camera. Yeah. But Kong wasn't.
Elements.
First of all, 3 of those are made by almost like the same people, Japanese, Toho. Kong was American. So, like, this is why I say, like, I love the concept. Like, when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, let's see. But when they were like, yeah, Kong can defeat Godzilla, and I was like, nah, you lost me. That lost me.
Well, they went with the whole 69 film.
Yeah.
At the end. Yeah, no, well.
Kong wasn't not made. Godzilla was made by the,
nuclear radiation, yes.
Monsters that were made because of their mistakes.
Of course.
Kong was just, since jungle was so big, he grew big for his elements.
So here you go.
Kong
versus Mighty Joe Young. I would have bought that. I'd have been eating that up. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When it makes sense at certain levels, then I'm fine. Like, I have no problem going like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, let's go.
She literally broke down the tail of the tape like it was a boxing match. You got Kong. Kong is 338 centimeters or whatever high, solid muscle, long arms.
Like Godzilla.
That's it. Zilla, 340 taller. He stands over Kong, and he's got what? Well, he's what? 142 tons. He's got radioactive fire. He can explode out the radioactive fire. I'm like, how long?
And all Kong has
and I know you said, maybe I'm filling this in. I know Monkey ain't got no chance handling this guy. But I'm like, you never know.
Oh, yeah.
Gorillas are what? Almost 40 times stronger than.
Yeah, and a monitor lizard, which is technically what Godzilla is, as tiny as it is, can take down one of them regardless of the fact.
Yeah.
So
Think of a Komodo dragon. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I'm curious to see how they do this season, only because we were talking about this the other day and I pointed out to him, I have a thing with continuity, right? So like in certain aspects when it's like leaned into like you're saying your shift reality, I'm fine with that, right? But if you're saying like we have a continuity, like the first two movies had a very set continuity, this show is supposed to be in between all of that, and now it's like all of a sudden Kong is here. We've got the Hollow Earth, which was not really talked about until the Kong movies, and then they changed it because I think the second movie, the Hollow Earth, was an actual Hollow Earth. It was what was that movie that they took it from?
King of the Monsters.
Yep.
And in that one, he retreated into an underground cabin.
No. I don't mean that. See, what was the original movie they took that from? Because it was the people who were underground who were worshiping that kaiju. That was the exact room that they used where Gala. No, it wasn't Mothra. It was another. It was the Gigon or something like that. It was one of the older films where they had like that underground people.
Oh, okay. I know what she's talking about. She's talking about the '72 film of Godzilla versus Megalon. In which Megalon was part of Zootopia, and then,
Thank you.
And then they called upon Gigan from another. So it's like a hidden universe underground.
So that Hollow Earth theory was really cool.
Right.
Well, it's part of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
People don't realize it.
Yeah.
There you go.
But now it's Hollow Earth is a completely separate. We don't know if it's a universe or we don't know if it's inside the Earth. They say it both ways. That it's inside the Earth, but that it's also a sister universe to ours. So pick one, right?
Think of it this way: with your universe, you could see it happening if they ever decided to combine. They could say separate universes.
Right.
Your underwater, unnamed Atlantis, say, come across as Namor's Atlantis, and there you go. You have a storyline right there in itself.
Absolutely.
Would you ever use the, since you're hearing everybody say different stories, the what if versions in your universe?
I would if we could make crossovers. You know, you'd have to get the legacy studios have to be on board with something like that. Because I got as a big fan of Marvel and DC, I would love to see crossovers. I'd like to see Camel Tag versus Superman.
Well, there's a lot of characters that are in the
written. Camel Tag is more powerful than Superman.
Ooh, so there you
Icon.
go.
Also, Icon in the DC universe. Icon is actually not part of the DC universe, but is a secondary company. But Icon matches right there, pound for pound, with power with Superman.
See, because I know we're not talking about Camel Tag, but Camel Tag, the reason I'm saying that is I wrote him to be the most powerful hero out of all the universes. Like, so with Superman is an alien.
Right.
Camel Tag is the universe.
Oh, so don't take this the wrong way. So it's like a male version of Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon's she's the same way. She is the universe. She is literally, she can create, she can disassemble the world. She could Thanos snap at everybody if she wanted to. She's fought for millennia multiple times, just constant fighting, no end for millennia, just to protect the Earth. So I like that concept to have that kind of character, and this is why like whenever I have like the fights like Goku will beat Sailor Moon, they'd be like Goku would win. I'm like, y'all bugging if you really think someone who could warp reality is not gonna whoop a dude who just fights with his hands and can scream really loud and throw like energy blasts.
That is true.
And also, and throwing in another character like Marvel's Eternity. Eternity is the universe of the Marvel world.
But wouldn't that concept cripple you a little in making another character that can be at least his equal?
That's why we have the anti-creator and the creator. When you'll see, as you progress on, you'll realize who they are to each other. And then once you'll see who Ruby is to all of them, and then you'll see who Onyx Girl is to all of them. So it's a step process. Like I said, I'm 2 months into this. So I created these stories. If you've seen like Reverend Holy Holybrook, I created that character when I was working 30 years ago. I created that character, but I never could get him on paper. I never could get the vision of him. So that's why he's out there. He's one of the comedy people for that, like on Pam. But this universe I created in 2 months. I put I got 18 characters so far, and I put all that together. So my mind has been running.
So in a funny.
That's why I asked him, because you were saying about Godzilla and King Kong.
Right.
That's why you cannot have someone that's totally gonna be. So that's why you put King Kong to match. And
But they could have just created a different kaiju monster.
You just don't like King Kong.
I don't like Kong. I don't like Kong. Period.
I stand 10 toes down on what I said, all right?
I want to say, in a sense, the continuity of your universe. It's like, how do you go from not going cross-eyed and trying to keep these characters Because I can see when you were saying Onyx Girl, and the projection is Ruby, and then the next is the sort of monitor and anti-monitor, and then of course your last character. So it's like that levels of power right there. It's almost like a hierarchy in a sense. So how do you keep it from not, from crossing, like, oh, okay, making sure that this character stays in line and then not overstep, or this one doesn't overstep?
Just creating it and rewriting it and keep going back and forth. Because sometimes in my head it will cross over. Then I got to step back and say, wait a minute. She can't do that to that, and then has to come back. So it's just like, it's a process. It's a process. Because the character that I portray, I watch everything happen. I can stop it all at one moment, but I don't. I watch everything fold out. If I decide to stop something, I do it. If I don't, I don't. But that's not giving up the secret, because there's more to it. There's more to it. So like I said, the anti-creator and the creator, they're twins. So when you notice, they look just alike because they're twins. But there's a reason why that they all look alike.
And that's why I say the first episode of Man Off, I didn't like. Because you gave it all.
Yeah.
You just gave it all.
Yeah.
A monster coming out, he's too powerful, let's get Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah.
Why you didn't try with one first and then say it's not gonna work?
Right.
Or let Godzilla, he don't talk, but his movements, you can see like, I can't do this by myself. And he goes get him. No, they did it all in one episode.
Like Sarazawa said, let them fight.
You know what I mean? So what am I going to see for the rest? So I'm a thumbs down on the first episode just because of that.
I'm pretty sure they did that too, to try to lure in the people who are Kong or whatever. But yeah, exactly. Us fans, like day oneers, like I felt like, come on, bro. Like,
I don't want to spend 7 hours on something that you just gave me in one.
That's the thing. The fan service is always important because, like Batman v Superman, it's like I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, and then I got my hands on the more extended version, like the director's cut of it all, and I'm like, it's only 30 minutes. Why didn't you put it in? It's so much sold this story more. Taking away those 30 minutes actually, in my opinion, hurt the movie.
Right.
Because those 30 minutes reminded me of the comic book world's finest. Batman's investigating. Well, guess what? Superman's an investigative reporter, and he's also investigating. They cross paths as they are, but then cross paths as heroes. That's something completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yep, absolutely.
And so that the fan service was lost in that, especially with Doomsday. I'm like, come on. That fight lasted only, 30 seconds? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Every other iteration was like a whole half an hour slobber knocker of wrestling fight.
Right.
So if you had to choose between like Godzilla or Kong, who are you?
I'm going with Kong. I'm going with Kong. Listen, I've loved Kong. I've loved Kong since a long time. I love Kong. Kong is, when I seen him come on the screen for the first time, I was like, yeah.
In the original movie or in the Kong versus Godzilla?
All right, I'm talking about the original movie.
Yeah, no, the original movie is so good. That iconic scene of him reaching in and pulling out.
But they were misleading in that photo of the movie itself. On the tail, he's like got 1 foot here and 1 foot here, and so you're expecting that kind of size spectacle. And I'm like, what? Yo, he looks real small now in comparison to the.
Well, he has grown a lot over the years, though.
Oh yeah,
Well, the
environment. That's what I'm saying. Because of the environment, he was supposed to grow. Versus, let me go make this magical,
First of all, Godzilla is not magical.
this little.
I agree.
Gamma is borderline magical. Mothra is borderline magical. But Godzilla is more rooted in.
The Godzilla I liked is when he was with the movie where he walked through New York and he had. What was the name of that actor?
Oh no!
That's what,
oh no! He's talking about the Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
Oh, we don't speak of him.
No,
we don't
speak. That's no.
Okay, so
that's against the law.
The thing is that movie
messed it up.
Yeah.
No, actually, the reason I liked it is because that was like one of the first ones I watched getting back into.
See, and that's acceptable.
Action.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the whole thing when y'all trying to say the Komodo dragons and all
that.
Yeah.
We loved it better when it was a mystery of the monster.
If you have you seen is it Shin Godzilla, which is the one the horror version of Godzilla?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Watch that one. So Shin Godzilla is like a retelling of the original Godzilla storyline, but more horror based, and it's phenomenal. The design that they have for that character, like that, brought me back into the Godzilla universe because the last two American made ones I thought were phenomenal. Kong and Godzilla lost me, and I was like, I'm done. And then Shin Godzilla came out, and I was like, for it. But so before we go, tell us your socials, where we can find you at, where we can watch everything at.
Okay, you can watch Onyx on Shorts on YouTube, Facebook, and Vimeo, Vimeo. That's on demand right now. Onyx Girl, Director's Cut, Studio Cut are available on there. And you can also TikTok and Instagram.
And they can reach
Emerald Hawk Studios.
There you go.
Is the name. And you can email me, emeraldhawkstudios@gmail.com. And you can also call me. It's 914-979-2036.
Look at that, right to the source. And then I have one more question. Is the last question. It's like very important for us on our show. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, come on, I love both. I can't go there. I can't go there. I can't go there.
That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, Lou, you lost again.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, so we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Good morning, Rican. Hit it. Hey, welcome back again. Thank you, David, for joining us from Emerald Hawk Studios. Looking forward, and I encourage all of you out there to take a look at this. This is definitely one to watch. But on other news, we have the coming of Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage, and I'm a bit excited, but I'm also on the fence, 50-50, because, you know, as we discussed one time at home, it's a little bit dark. So I really have to see the first episode to see how they're going to translate Spider-Man Noir originally, not just from the Spider-Verse, but also from the comic books to now.
It's the character from the Spider-Verse, technically.
I mean, I understand that they let Deadpool and Wolverine, they gave it an R rating or whatever, but this is still Disney. It's still family oriented. So I don't know. I have to see the first episode.
And this is why
concepts of what they show.
Well, the thing is that the Noir universe in Marvel was always considered like the darker R-rated. It's like their max storylines, right? So it's like the R-rated versions of these characters. And I don't know. Like I'm excited, but the same, because I love Spider-Man Noir. All the Noir storylines are so good.
Who doesn't love Spider-Man?
When we were looking into it, it's not the actual Spider-Man Noir character. I believe it's another character that they're utilizing. And also, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, again,
you're on the fence. Like me, I'm on the fence. Because like, you're like, when you know the story, like if you're like us, we know the background, we know the story, and then when you see it come, most people will go, Nicolas Cage is Spider-Man Noir, let's go! But we're like,
Well, it's not okay. First of all, put some respect on Nicolas Cage's name, all right? Let's go.
Hey.
He built himself up from that, so I have to respect him as someone who came from an affluent family that told him, like, no, we're not going to put you in movies. Because remember, I told you his uncle was Francis Ford Coppola, and he went to his uncle and was like, hey, put me in movies, and his uncle was like, no, you're not. You're a bad actor, or whatever it is. And he said, fine. Screw you, I'm going to go and make my own path. And he did. He made it. So I have to give him that. And he's not that bad of an actor. It's just that sometimes he chooses really interesting roles. And I'm like, I wonder where was like the thought process behind it? My thing is, it's not just a Disney production, it's a joint production with Amazon. So there's a little bit more of like hope that maybe they will be more consistent with the storytelling and it will lean more into the R-rated ideas.
That's that on the good side of the fence, that it is Amazon behind it, not Disney.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Percentage though. Ego can kick
I think Amazon has the bigger lean into this, right? Because I don't know if this is going to be on Disney Plus, right? And that's the thing, right? Everyone's talking about. And this is what I was telling you too about how Disney, like, I know that when Deadpool Wolverine came out and it was rated R, the only reason why it was consistent, and I told you that you should not be surprised because it was already established as rated R. So when they came into it and they finally got it bring it into the continuity, I can guarantee you that Ryan Reynolds and whoever was working on this said, hey, you're either going to take it or you're going to leave it. You're not getting this bag, right?
Wait a second. And you just brought this memory back at me where Deadpool 2 was done two ways. It was done in its rated R version, and then he did a sort of cleaned up version, but it was funny because he had, what's his name, Savage, like he was telling the boy from the Wonder Years.
No, it was a Princess Bride mock, right? That's what he did. It was Princess Bride, because that's literally who it was.
But he did it clean, and that was like.
No, it was hysterical. I'll give it that.
It was.
But it definitely, they went into it already knowing it was going to be rated R. And this is why with the whole thing, when they brought over the Netflix shows and they put them back on Disney Plus, a lot of it's been like cleaned up. I have not personally seen it. This is all from people who've talked about this. So I haven't been able to verify this. But like, it made sense. They were like, oh, you know, Daredevil was like the first sex scene in Marvel. And I remember when we watched it on Netflix, we were like, oh my God.
That was Netflix. You expected that on Netflix.
We expected that. And then also Matt Murdock is a hoe. So it was like not that bad. So it was on brand for that character. But when it got brought over to Disney.
Yeah, another hoe like her.
Right? So he's a maverick, all right? We'll give him that. My boy's a Casanova who keeps getting confronted as a womanizer. But anyhow. He's not. You know, he's a big hoe now, Spock. That we could talk about that in the Stranger World.
That's another hole.
But anyhow, I am one of them. Anyhow, so there's already like that character was like already established in that vein. So when it got brought over to Disney, of course they're going to clean it up, and that's why the last season we watched, I noticed like yes, there was violence in it, but there wasn't that much like romance. Like wait, I'm lying because he had that scene in the with the girl he was with, that they were in the shower, but that was like not that racy. And I remember thinking like they could have gone spicier. Like this is Matt Murdock we're talking about, but I understand that they were a little bit more like
they were not going to do like a whole 9.5 weeks in that shower scene in itself. I would have loved it. I know you would have loved it, and I'm pretty sure you would have loved it. But somewhere along the line, somebody be like, oh no, you can't watch this.
But also people forget that on Disney, it's not like you go into the Disney app and everything's accessible to you. It's age rated. So like if you have a child account, the child cannot go in and access the adult stuff. If you have an adult account, you have access to everything, right?
Wait, so as a parent, I already know no matter what it says, a child finds out.
But that's the thing, okay, and that's fine. And a lot of people forget.
Kids get smarter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's fine. It's just that you still have to be aware of what your kid is watching. So then that way, if something is really bad, you can step in. Because it's not. I'm a proponent of not shutting down access to that only because of how you and mom raised us. You raised us around movies and videos that had nudity, sex, whatever, violence, but it wasn't.
And in anime as well, if you want.
But it wasn't pointed out.
Put it out right there.
Wait, it wasn't pointed out. It wasn't made an issue of. It was just like, hey, this is fake. This is this, whatever. And so I grew up with the concept of like, okay, this is something that exists in media. I didn't seek it out. And if I did seek out certain things, and I was like in my own little world or whatever, mom was reading my search history. Mom was on top of that, so she knew what we were looking at, what we were reading and watching and going into. And I'm sure if I was going into something that was actually inappropriate or that was bad, she would have shut it down. And the thing is that those incidents happen at friends' houses who their parents were not on top of what was going on. So yeah, as long as you're aware of what your kid is watching, it is what it is. But yeah, the whole Marvel not creating rated R stuff, I think is a really kind of weird conversation because why not? Like, why shouldn't they be able to create adult entertainment? Also, I would love Disney, listen to me, a whole adult version of fairy tales that are more like the Hans Christian original fairy tales, or even like the darker versions of the original fairy tales. Because Cinderella, all those storylines, I was telling Dad about some of them. They're not good. They're Happily Ever? Yeah. So like, yeah, give
Snow
us.
White and the 7 pedophiles. Why not?
Is the 7 pedophiles or was it Snow White?
But the thing is that you have to read the original storyline.
We go across that dark line.
But that's what a lot of those original fairy tales were like, cautionary tales and stuff like that. They were supposed to teach you a lesson or show you what hubris can do and all these ideals or whatever. So they were cautionary tales. But I would love to see like an adult version, especially done by Disney. I think would be so cool. But I don't think there should be any people like fighting Disney on creating this.
Here's the thing.
But don't the hub have the duck farm anyway? That's
but you know,
Disney
there is something
coming this week. Oh, I'm gonna get sued. So let me shut up.
We're gonna get shut down. But no, here's the thing though. There are adult versions of cartoon characters, a couple of them from Disney. That's because Disney lost the rights to maintain that character.
No,
I
not
saw
that
the
they
horror
lost
film.
the rights.
Winnie the Pooh was a horror. That Disney lost that character.
That's not how that works. They became
expired.
public domain.
Expired.
People don't understand what public domain is, right? So the idea is that it creates availability of characters that would be monopolized by another company. So after I think it's like 100-something years, characters have to be admitted to the public domain that anybody can utilize them. Marvel has fought this, DC has fought this, and Disney is fighting it.
After 100 years.
I do not think that there's an issue there, right? I think that that's fine, right? It's Disney fighting to retain the rights of these characters by creating different versions and then trademarking it and then being like, well, that version is only 50 years old or this version is only 20 years old. And it's just like, now you have to fight like, well, okay, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is technically a part of the public domain, but only the Steamboat Willie version, right? So it's like, it's a very specific version. You can't do any other version other than that.
You can't do Disney's version. When he brought it, he changed Mickey Mouse to be a little fatter.
Yes. So that character has not reached the public domain. But again, these companies are fighting it, and I'm not in agreement with that. Public domain exists for a reason, right? And some great things have come out of public domain transitions. But for the most part, but art is art at the end of the day. So let people create and have fun.
True, but there's sometimes
they've been putting now a lot of them into horror.
And that's fine.
Popeye.
That's fine.
I mean, he got a second film.
Guess what? They're making money. They're creating jobs. They're giving people whatever.
The creating jobs part I understand, but it's the thing is that they're making money off of this, and it's like you're taking like some people even younger or like myself that's seen Popeye for what he was, and see this version of Popeye.
Boo-hoo. You're not destroying the character. It's just a different version.
People that are complaining shouldn't be watching Marvel. It's called What If.
Exactly.
The Marvel universe, all the DC universe is not the same. The movie universes are not the same as the comic books.
Right.
What if? What if Popeye was pissed off at people because of this and that?
Right.
What if Winnie the Pooh was like a Chucky?
This is why I consider Godzilla vs. Kong a what if storyline. And
what if we really,
back to the monkey? Oh my God!
What if we really needed Godzilla for anything?
You out here talking like Frieza. I did not even call him a monkey like that.
The monkey can't win.
But yeah, no, like I have seen some really good like adaptions and stuff. Like I'm a fan of Sherlock. So there's been a lot of Sherlock iterations that have come after his public domain that have been brilliant. What?
Yeah, I know what you're gonna. Go ahead.
No,
you said this last night. And I know it's coming.
There's a show called
I'm not gonna.
No. Say,
Wait.
Say the dirty word.
Shut up.
Say the dirty word.
No, what do you say?
There's a show called Watson, but in this one,
he's a doctor.
Science doctor.
He's a doctor.
So he is the brain, not more.
Not Sherlock.
Yeah.
So
No, she's not talking about that one.
No.
I was trying to change the subject.
No, I know, but the dirty word still got to come out. Go ahead, say the dirty word.
It wasn't a dirty word. I was talking negatively
about
how dumb Enola Holmes was.
There you go, the dirty word. Enola.
But again, there's been some great
Sherlock in that one.
Oh
too.
God,
that's a double.
That's a horrible casting choice, by the way. But anyhow,
you know what I mean?
There's been good and there's been bad, and I don't have to engage with the bad stuff, right? No. I don't have like that, and that's another thing I think a lot of people forget. Like, you don't have to engage with it. Like, you don't have to be a part of it. It might be a part of something that you love. The same thing that's going on with Starfleet Academy now. Okay, it's Star Trek, cool, but you don't have to like it. Just don't talk bad about it or treat it as if it's like the worst thing that's ever happened.
Now you think about it, because when Chucky came out, everybody was all for Chucky.
Yeah.
Chucky was my buddy.
My buddy doll.
My buddy doll.
My buddy. I climbed up the tree and all this stuff, and then they put it as a Chucky. That was a what if.
A what if?
A buddy doll would have became live. Everybody hated it.
Oh, they loved it.
But now all of a sudden,
it's something bad. Something. Oh my God.
But yeah, I just it's okay to hate something, but you don't have to hate the people that are enjoying it. It's not everything is made for you, and that's someone I consume so much media. Not everything is made for me, and I understand that. I can turn it off. I can click away. I can literally conserve my energy instead of being like, oh, this is dumb and this is this and this and woke and this. Why would I expend that energy?
No, I seen the comments about the Popeye horror movie, and I commented below and I said, all of y'all people commenting about it, how many of y'all watch B movies anyway?
Right? And
now y'all want to complain about something y'all don't even watch.
Yeah, and just because it has Popeye, okay, but it still was not made for you.
Right.
There's you could spend your energy going into stuff that you like. I haven't seen it yet, but now I kind of want to see it.
But Rita was like, oh, snap.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
She doesn't really know the whole concept of Popeye.
Yeah.
You know.
Does he like chug spinach in the movie?
Oh yeah,
Spinach is everything.
I forgot. Do they still have that same music?
Yeah,
Everything that is 100 after once it hits public domain, everything becomes good.
Popeye eats spinach to get strong. What if Popeye was a bad person and he got strong?
Oh, let's go!
That's basically what this movie is
See,
about.
Brightburn was that for Superman, and people were talking bad about it too, and they're like, oh, well, why would you have an evil Superman? Why not?
Why not?
Why not go into that concept and stuff like that? It's just something different that you could either enjoy or not like. It's literally not that serious. Sometimes it is, but it's never that serious.
So, end of the day, this is the thing that end of the day, and we've already all said it at the same time. You have a choice. You don't have to make a big thing about it. You don't like it? Click.
You don't like, you're reading a fanfic that's not good? Turn it off. You don't need to attack the person writing it. You have a book that you didn't like? Close it. Go trade it back in for something else. There's a show that you're not vibing with? Change the channel. How many times have you been watching something that after a while, I'm like, I'm not vibing with this, I'll just leave. Or I'll go on my phone and start reading and looking into something that I want. Because I'm not going to sit here and like
sometimes
expend
we
energy.
make this deal. It's like, okay, if I watch Attack on Titan, and I'm not saying I don't like it, I do like it, but that means you're going to have to watch this. And
I have.
And we have.
I've been watching Monarch. I didn't watch the second season episode yet, though, because I was very like, I was really raging yesterday. I was like, I cannot.
No.
I don't.
I can't stomach it. No, if they're bringing the gorilla, no, I don't want to.
Give me a few more days of pretending Kong is no longer
No,
part of the universe.
I thought you said, give me some more weed, and then I'll watch
Going back to the agreement we have, so, yeah.
So it boils down to that, man. At the end of the day, don't start a revolution. Just start something new, something that you will enjoy. Right?
So,
with that thought, we'll be right back with more Nerdy Rican.
Actually, we're going. We're
going?
This is the end of the episode.
Aww.
That's what happens when you ramble.
Oh, sorry. But you know what? Hey, you had a good time. We had a good time. Thanks to David Hunter for coming down and bringing in his universe. And as always, live long and prosper.
Welcome to the zone where geeks collide, where comics and heroes come alive. Marvel, DC, Starfleet in the mix. Lightsabers flash, we're nerding out quick. Nerd